Good evening, fellow Rotarians and friends. This is past District Governor Jess Cifra, and welcome to another episode of Rotary in Action. Tonight, we will bring you the highlights of the upcoming Rotary International 107th Convention, which will be held in Seoul, South Korea. So please join me again and see how, through God's help, Rotary continues being the gift to the world, because we are happy people serving people. You're still watching Rotary in Action. And at this point, let's watch past President Marilyn Lagniton's interview with Rotary International President Ravi Ravindran.
Good evening. Welcome back to Rotary in Action. We have a very special episode tonight, and special because we are at the 2016 Rotary International Presidential Conference on WASH. It's an acronym for Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene. Special also because we have the leadership of Rotary International with us. And we'll go straight away with the questions. I have President K.R. Ravi Ravindran, and we have the chair of the TRF Foundation Trustees, Mr. Ray Klingen-Smith. We also have the chairperson of this international conference, Governor Guillermo Tumangan. Good evening to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to shoot my first question for the President, Ravindran. Why did you choose the Philippines for this particular conference this year, President?
Well, let's put it this way. WASH is something very fundamental. It is something which is easy to accomplish. It needs dedication, it needs commitment. Now my partner in this, Ray Klingen-Smith, who is in charge of the Rotary Foundation, which is the philanthropic arm of Rotary International, and I are working this together. Philippines is a good example of a country where Rotarians have managed to get through to the community and teach them the simple things of washing schools. You know, you don't believe that by merely teaching kids to wash their hands, you're already eliminating 50% of waterborne diseases. It's not just a matter of washing your hands after going to the toilet, it's also a behavioral change, because they go back and they start teaching their parents this. You won't believe, Rotarians themselves, because they're teaching kids, are now washing their hands more often. And there's already a change. I mean, all of us psychologically are doing what we're telling others to do. And we picked Philippines because I think Philippines is a good example of how Rotarians have managed to mobilize the community in this particular aspect of community service.
May I ask Director Guillermo, what are some of the most awesome programs that you've done here in the Philippines? And I'm also going to ask President Ravi and Chairman Ray for some of the most awesome programs they've seen worldwide through their travels as leaders of Rotary.
Here in the Philippines, we have just seen in the booth a lot of projects that we have. And that's the other reason why we came out with the competition among the clubs in Zone 6B, 7A, and 10B, asking all those clubs to submit their projects for evaluation.
President Ravi, you mentioned at the top of this segment that water is easy, one of the easier programs to get into the community and impact communities worldwide. What are some of the best ones that you've seen this year, this Rotary year, which is your presidency?
Well, I've seen a commitment by the Indians at the request of their Prime Minister. One of his key projects is build more toilets, because he says that will transform this country. Now, Rotarians in India have pledged to build 20,000 toilet blocks in schools, in 20,000 schools. When I say 20,000 toilet blocks, that means 2 toilets for boys, 2 toilets for girls. And I can tell you, not only will they accomplish it, and they're well on the course to accomplishing it, but it changes the whole attitude of school-going girls in particular. It will change the whole literacy levels of the demography of India, because girls tend to drop out at the age group of 10, 11, 12 just because there are no toilets available. So when these Rotarians put in these toilets in 20,000 schools, can you imagine girls who would normally have dropped out at 10, 11 now go through their education till 15, 16, and how that will transform their country? A simple thing like putting in toilets can transform a nation. That's what Rotarians are doing.
The biggest successes sometimes come with some of the biggest challenges as well. What are some of the challenges that you've met along the way that spelled success after getting over these challenges?
We have 6 areas of focus that we started in 2010 when we had the 100 pilot districts try out the Future Vision program. Now the entire Rotary world is covered by the Future Vision, the new grants model, and the 6 areas of focus our attempt to limit what we do so we can do it better. And the water, sanitation, hygiene has been one of the most popular of the areas of focus. And so Rotarians are taking a great interest in that area of focus as well as disease prevention and treatment. And so we see that as the future, because we like for the Rotarians to choose what they want to do in their countries. Through the global grants, the vocational training teams, the global grant scholarship, and they're voting that they are most interested in WASH.
But you see, we didn't mention our biggest success, the eradication of polio. We started 30 years ago with 350,000 cases a year. We are now at, well, last year we had 72 or 73, we are about 5 or 6 this year. And when I use the word cases, you must understand cases means a child.
Right.
It means not 350,000 cases, it's 350,000 children who are getting paralyzed. And we are now close to worldwide total eradication. Only 2 countries left, just 5 or 6 cases this year. And it's only second time in the history of this earth that a disease is being eradicated after smallpox. And it shows many things. One of them is the possibility that we have actually reached every single child on earth with vaccines. 2, it is perhaps the best known multilateral government private sector partnership that has ever been put together, and which has shown what can be achieved when you have these type of 2 or 3 forces getting together, powerful forces. And I think that is the greatest legacy we are going to leave for this world.
Right.
And I might mention as a Rotary historian that our first effort at polio eradication started here in the Philippines.
That's right.
In 1979.
We are blessed and pleased to know that it actually started in the Philippines. And here you are today, once again, having one of the milestones in the international presidential conferences being held right here in the Philippines as well. We do have a lot of problems with water, not only the infection rate and all the other problems that come with it, but also the availability of water itself. You're the chair of the trustees of TRF. How high up in the priority of TRF funding is water and hygiene?
It's very high.
Okay.
All 6 areas of focus in our view are equal, but it's which ones the Rotarians apply for grants that are eligible for funding, and they are choosing primarily disease prevention and treatment and WASH, water, sanitation, hygiene. So we let the Rotarians vote by how they apply, and then we respond to the best applications. And so it's very clear that there's great interest. I've read that a third of the world's population still lives without clean water.
True.
And that's very sad.
True.
And we need to continue to work in that area, and we're going to work in that area.
Have you seen any clear impact on awareness, on branding of Rotary around the world?
I can't answer for the Philippines, maybe he can, but I've certainly seen it elsewhere. I mean, I've seen in my part of the world how top corporates are now teaming up with Rotary to do projects. You see, all the big corporates now have made CSR a sort of a watchword. And it's straight business. When you work with Rotary, we are doing the same things that they want to do. We probably do it better.
True.
And when you work with Rotary, the return on the investments is higher, right? Because we work free of charge. You can't hire any one of us three for any amount of money, but Rotary gets us for nothing. So we see the branding efforts that we have made. We are now finding companies looking for us, saying, look, we have a CSR project in water. We have a CSR project in housing. We are trying to do something with cancer detection. So there are very great offers coming to us. And in fact, we are now in a situation where we'll have to pick and choose whom we want to work with.
Rotary in Action is a weekly television show that is the only show in the Philippines that focuses on Rotary. We have a lot of viewers who are Rotarians. We have a lot of viewers who are non-Rotarians. We have come to the end of this segment. We would like you to please say a word, each one of you, to say a word to our viewers out there.
This is the message I have for them. Rotary works for your community. We get together, we have fun with each other, we do some networking with each other, but the purpose of our meeting is to work for our community. And I'm asking you, those out there who are non-Rotarians, to join us. Because if you don't join us, and together we don't work for our community, who else will? Are we going to get the United Nations? Are we going to get someone from overseas? We have to look after our own community. We cannot rely only on the government. We need to support them, and Rotary is the best place to come and work with us.
I would just say that Ravi mentioned earlier that we have some very, very high-level people who work for free for Rotary. So as a result, when it comes to volunteer service, we do it better than any other organization in the world. And for those that are not Rotarians, please talk to somebody who is a Rotarian and find out more about us.
And of course, from our very own Director Guillermo Tumangan.
Last year, we will have a net of 1,800 warm bodies who join us. This year, as of February 29, we have 1,700. We will try our very best to have more than that, so that we can have more hands to help our less fortunate brothers.
Thank you for being with us tonight. And from the numbers that I've seen and the diversity of the attendees that I've seen, this certainly looks like a huge success. Congratulations and mabuhay.
Mabuhay.
Stay tuned, we will be back.
More than 50,000 Rotarians from over 150 countries are expected to attend the 107th Rotary International Convention at Kintex, Seoul, Korea on May 28 until June 1, 2016. This has been often described as a mini United Nations because of its global scope and cultural diversity. As a city with a long, rich history and the latest amenities, Seoul is the ideal location for a Rotary convention and a delightful travel destination to explore, according to the 2015 and 16 International President Ravi Ravindran. At the Seoul Convention, Rotary members will celebrate the joy of bringing the work of Rotary into our communities and to be a gift to the world. Attendees of the year's convention will be provided of ample opportunities to savor Seoul's countless attractions, including expansive numbers of parks, museums, shopping centers, restaurants, and the well-known Gangnam District, popular by K-pop recording artist Psy. Rotary International District 3790 Cluster C conducted a vocational training program for 30 inmates at the Angeles District Jail, Camp Don Pepito, Santo Domingo, Angeles City. The training program, dubbed as Isang Gunting, Isang Suklay tungo sa pagbabagong buhay. As part of Rotary's literacy project, the Rotary Club of Metro San Fernando, La Union conducted a free oral health and oral hygiene for the grade school pupils of Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, Mid La Union. This project aims to help not only the children but also the teachers about the health danger of poor hygiene practices. The Rotary Club of San Mateo distributed Ligtas Buhay Information Handbook to the parents and teachers of Banaba Elementary School. The handbook is a compilation of safety and disaster preparedness tips for calamities like earthquake, typhoon, tsunami, flood, and dengue outbreak. The Rotary Club of Metro Antipolo held a golf tournament at Valley Golf and Country Club. The proceeds of the event will be donated to Santa Luisa, home of the abused children. The Rotary Club of Santa Maria rehabilitated the water system installed at Santa Clara Elementary School. This is to ensure and maintain the cleanliness of the water supply for the safety of the students of the said school. The Rotary Club of Bagong Sandigan celebrated the International Women's Month by sponsoring the wedding ceremony for 8 indigent couples through their Kaloob Kasal sa mga IDAS service program held at Paradise Ranch, Bamban, Tarlac. In 1927, the first Rotary Club was chartered in Seoul, Korea, the mother of all Rotary clubs in the country. Today, Korea is the 4th largest Rotary Club country with 1,616 clubs with a total of 62,351 members who support an array of local and international service projects. These include partnership with Seoul National University Children's Hospital to implement a healthcare program to identify infants and toddlers with critical illness or chronic conditions in low-income families in the Gangbok area. They also offer early intervention programs for preterm infants and their parents. Rotary clubs around the country also provide various programs to help immigrants and low-income families. During the Seoul Convention, the Seoul Host Organization Committee will open a children's library near Kintex, where convention participants can donate illustrated children's books in multiple languages. Rotary clubs in Seoul has been donating rice and kimchi annually each winter to elderly people living alone, also to local community service centers for underprivileged and physically challenged people. Korean Rotary clubs, in cooperation with environmental experts and the government of Mongolia, launched a long-term tree planting project in which 335,870 trees are planted on 270 hectares of land to help reduce the yellow wind dust storm that blew off the Gobi Desert in Korea that affected some areas of Japan and some parts of the West Coast in the United States. These projects had a total worth of $1.3 million. The Rotary clubs in Korea continuously support the polio eradication program of the Rotary International. Since the program started, Korean Rotary clubs have contributed to the Rotary Foundation a total of $1.4 billion and countless volunteers who traveled at their own expense to immunize children against polio in India. The Rotary Club of Alabat Island recently unveiled its Rotary marker at the port of Alabat, Quezon. This is the fruit of 2 years' worth of plans, with the club coordinating with the local government of Alabat Municipality to make this dream a reality. The unveiling was held with the family of Rotary Club of Alabat Islands in full force. Guests included retired Major General Fernando Mesa, a municipal mayor, and wife Vanji, the Sangguniang Bayan of Alabat, and DGN Ray Caparos of District 5220. The Rotary Club of Makati San Antonio inaugurated their Tulong Tubig project. wherein a water filtration station was installed at Purukmanga Street, CAA Compound, Las Piñas City. This project will benefit the 500 households or 2,500 individuals. This project is part of the Rotary International's campaign on water and sanitation and hygiene, or WASH. The Rotary Club of Zamboanga City North held a children's party for the less fortunate grade 6-1 pupils of Divisoria Elementary School, Zamboanga City. The club also distributed school supplies for the pupils. The Rotary Club of Cotabato East conducted a free blood screening and diabetes management lecture at the headquarters of the 5th Special Forces Battalion of the Armed Forces of the Philippines in Cotabato City.
My fellow Rotarians, I'm your friend Ravi, and I'm here to personally invite you to the Korea Convention starting on the 28th of May 2016. Now you've got to be there because I'm going to be there to receive you. So I look forward to seeing you in Seoul.
And that's all for tonight. Join us again next week. You can also visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/ria.untv. Rotary in Action would like to thank Patrol. Ayaw mo bang tumaba? Take Patrol. Go with the power of 500. Live it. Take care of your liver with Live It. At sa OsteoGuard, tulong iwas osteoarthritis sa OsteoGuard. Gogalaw, wow! At sa New Moms, maging bidang nanay sa New Moms Malunggay. At tulad po ng laging sinasabi ni Kuya Daniel Razon, ang paggawa ng mabuti ay hindi kailanman magbubunga ng masama. Ako pong muli si Past District Governor Jess Cifra, dito lang sa Rotary in Action, because we're happy people serving people.
Be a Rotarian for the world. Make the Rotary flag as the flag of peace unfurled.